I don't know who the journalist was that asked this question yesterday, but shame on that individual.
Yeah.
Because what they tried to do was buttonhole Pierre Poilievre on the issue of free speech. And last time the Conservatives were in power, they found a way to protect free speech, but also outlaw the glorification of terror. And yesterday, this reporter asked Pierre Poilievre a question. You'll see it and see if you get the same sense that I do as you watch it. I think Poilievre did a pretty good job threading the needle, although he could have said, yeah, I'm for free speech, but the glorification of terror should probably have stayed in the criminal code. But let's show this clip, and then we'll talk about when I first saw it yesterday, when you first flagged it to us, what my initial reaction was.
Vous êtes beaucoup pour la liberté d'expression. Qu'est-ce que vous pensez ces jours-ci quand vous voyez des étudiants en droit, des étudiants en médecine qui se font suspendre de leurs études, voire écarter parce qu'ils ont osé prendre position pour les Palestiniens dans le conflit en Israël?
J'ai pas vu ça.
Ben voyons, c'est partout dans les médias.
OK, j'ai pas vu ça.
Alors ça vous dérange pas? On vous en informe. Là, il y a des étudiants qui se font enlever à l'Université d'Ottawa, par exemple. Vous pensez de quoi? De la liberté d'expression en ce moment, la capacité d'exprimer un appui pour les Palestiniens?
Je suis pour la liberté d'expression.
So I can see on my side if we showed, the subtitled version. I'm just going to assume that we did. But basically, the reporter asks, like, how do you feel about these people who are being expelled because they are pro-Palestinian? And, Pierre Poilievre says, look, I support free expression, which is not controversial if you're a conservative. I would like to have heard him say, yeah, I support free expression. I don't support the glorification of terror or support for outlawed terror organizations, Hamas. But what we saw happen there was a reporter completely downplay what is really happening on these university campuses. They are attacking Jewish students. They are glorifying an outlawed terror organization, Hamas, making excuses for Hamas, celebrating what Hamas did on October 7th, and making calls for genocide. And some of them are getting expelled for it. And and the reporter basically said, oh, they're just getting expelled for being pro-Palestinian. No, that's something much different than being pro-Palestinian.
And I have a proof just right there, because you remember in Concordia when the big interaction between the Israeli supporter and Palestine supporter happened. There in the crowd of the Palestinian supporter, there was a teacher a teacher from l'Université de Montréal, l'Université de Québec à Montréal. And his name is Yanis Arab. And this teacher is supposed to be like someone who is really expert in Palestine. But he said to the student, go back to Poland, sharmuta. And sharmuta, we know what it means. It means whore in English. And so we found in his social media platform, he posted on October 7th, the first one. What he was saying is you can tremble, Zionists. Palestine take back its rights. And that was posted on October 7th. And afterwards, he posted another thing on October 8th, showing what the Hamas used for and going to the other side. And so what he's saying, Palestinians were able to unblock the code, GTA code, to infiltrate themselves on the enemy territories. Wow, incredible. With a heart.
Yeah.
This man is a teacher at the university in Montreal. Now he's under investigation. It's what it's all about. It's not about he stands for Palestine. He is standing for Hamas and terror attack.
Yeah, the rape and butchery of women and children and civilians. The more we hear about what happened on October 7th, the more horrifying it gets. And it wasn't just, Hamas operatives. It was civilians celebrating the butchery of Israeli civilians. It was doctors in hospitals who at least looked on and kept the lie and never told anybody that Israeli civilians were being kidnapped into Gaza hospitals. And they never said a word. And now those surveillance tapes are out there. And this is the stuff these people are celebrating. And if they lose their jobs, I couldn't care less. And shame on that reporter. Shame on that reporter for doing her best to whitewash the reality of what is happening on these university campuses. It is not. No, just we're for Palestinian autonomy. You think that's what this is for? You think that's what this is for? Shame on that reporter. No wonder she didn't identify herself.
Because, and by the way, she's French Canadian. We know that what is going on with the mainstream media in the French side, they are all from the left. They are all supporting what is going on right now. And it's why the media coverage is bullshit.
Hey folks, that was a clip from the daily live stream. I co-host it Monday to Thursday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Alberta team takes over on Friday. Please tune in. And by the way, we want to hear your 2 cents worth. If you're able to make a minimal $5 donation, we will read your chat on the air live. Thank you.
The winter chill is setting in all across the country, including here in Alberta. You might be able to see my breath. But I've got a solution for that annual problem. It's here on the billboard behind me. Now, normally this billboard tells travelers on Alberta's busiest highway, Highway 2, just south of Edmonton, about our latest causes, our fights for freedom, or books we've published. Today, it's inviting you to join us for some fun in the sun. We're talking about the Rebel News Cruise, a week-long Caribbean cruise departing March 23rd. With your favorite Rebel personalities, including me, Ezra Levant, Alexa Lavoie, David Menzies, and many more. And of course, the Woman of the Year Freedom Convoy leader, my friend Tamara Leach. We depart from Fort Lauderdale. From there, we go to the Bahamas, Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and then Mexico. And we're not just bringing your favorite Rebel personalities, we're bringing along some of your favorite thinkers and people you see interviewed all the time on Rebel News. But if you're thinking about booking the cruise, get off the fence and make a decision, because this billboard receives 1.3 million monthly impressions, which means the cruise will fill up fast, and I don't want you to miss it. For all the details about the Rebel News Caribbean Cruise, please go to rebelnewscruise.com. And let's sail away from Trudeau's frosty winter for a week together. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid.